Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for staying throughout, and I know this is the last session. So please bear with me before you go off. I think investing in REITs is really investing in property. So there's only a few slides that are important. The rest you can just ignore me. After 5, 6 slides, you can just ignore me. Right? I'll start by giving you, this agenda. Okay, this again, the countdown. I've been using it quite some time because we pay a lot of money to MediaCorp for this, so I take every opportunity to milk it. Right? So as introduced, Suntec REIT was the first composite REIT to be listed on the Singapore Exchange. What do you mean by composite REIT? Composite REIT essentially means it's not entirely a pure play. We were in commercial space, which includes the retail, the office, and also the convention space. Not just office or retail, that's called a pure play. So we listed on 2004 in December. The entire portfolio consists of high-quality offices and then supplemented and complemented by the retail and the convention business. It's a very simple REIT to understand. We have 4 properties in Singapore, we have 3 in Australia. So it's a 7 properties REIT to understand. So again, going back to the first point, investing in REIT is really investing in property. If you don't like the property, please don't invest in the REIT. Otherwise, you have sleepless night. Yeah? So you got to first of all look at the property and say, is it something that you want to have a piece of it? Right? The whole idea of a REIT is really instead of a chunky asset, you spending billions or millions, which many of us cannot afford as individuals, to buy a huge property on our own. Collectively, we share together and take a unit of a property. So you got to see whether you like the property. So we have 9.5 billion AUM. We are the 3rd largest REIT listed on the Singapore Exchange by the AUM, the size of the asset under management. Okay, this is the most important slide. So if you want to snap photo, please snap. Actually, it's on our website. You can actually download it. Okay. If you want to snap photo, that's the most important slide you should ever look at. Essentially introduces the 7 properties that we have. Of course, right at the front, we have Suntec City. Suntec City, or Suntec REIT, Suntec City, I mean, not much of a, it's a no-brainer, really. It's bulk of our property, actually, of course, it started with Suntec City. Within Suntec City, we own the office and the retail. We own about 1.3 million square feet of the offices. Suntec City has 5 office towers. We own about 2.3 million square feet, of which Suntec REIT itself owns 1.3 million square feet. We own nearly 100% of the shopping mall, with just a small little portion that's underneath the convention footprint. The retail space under convention footprint is held in a private fund, which Suntec REIT owns 60.8%. And that goes to the second part of it, the Suntec Singapore, which is called, it's called Suntec Singapore, a bit confusing in terms of naming, but because the convention business also market its services internationally. So when the convention business goes out internationally to market, you got to say Suntec where? Suntec Singapore. So that's why the name retains Suntec Singapore. Really, it's Suntec Convention and Exhibition Center. We own 60.8%. Outside of Suntec City, we own 1/3 of One Raffles Quay, just next door. We own 1/3 of Marina Bay Financial Center, Tower 1, Tower 2, and the Marina Bay Link Mall. Okay, 1/3 together with Keppel REIT and Hong Kong Land for these 2 properties. We also own 9 Penang Road. 9 Penang Road, if you remember, is the old Park Mall. If you drive past Park Mall today, you'll see that it's being demolished. We are rebuilding it to a Grade A office building. So that will come on stream in 2019. We own 100% of 177 Pacific Highway. That's in North Sydney, and that's 100% leased property. It's an office building. We also own Southgate Complex. For those of you who visit Melbourne, you will know, obviously, where Crown Casino is, and it's just like, walk down the river and you'll see, oops, my fault, okay. You'll see the Southgate Complex. So there are 2 office towers and 1 retail podium. And our latest baby in the family is the older fleet, 477 Collins Street. This is the premium grade office building. I'll give some introduction later on this building. So very simple, 7 properties for you to understand and see whether you want to be part of that ownership of these properties. So the key part is, what is a composite REIT? You have retail, convention, you have the office asset. So the office portfolio accounts for 69%, okay, of our income and MPI. So because accounting, sometimes it goes to the top line, sometimes it goes to the share of profit, so it's a bit confusing, but essentially, Suntec REIT business, 69% of its income comes from office properties. And joint ventures and 17 Pacific, essentially we're just trying to say that outside of Suntec City, the other properties contribute about 37% of the MPI and income. So there's financial highlights and capital management. The key part of REIT is really, of course, we pay more than 90% of our income out. So the key part is then sort of very active and proactive capital management. This shows you don't get alarmed by the last bar. The last bar is only a half year. It's not a full year. So the half year shows you the track record for the past 5 years. You see that for the last 5 years, we've been paying about 9 cents to 10 cents, 5 years, okay? 9 cents to 10 cents of dividend per unit. Okay, this shows a snapshot of our capital management. Key part to take away is that obviously as a REIT, we'll do very active or proactive capital management. And we have, in terms of track record, there must be one slide that's showing, in terms of track record, we've always been able to get the capital market support, the bank support in terms of our properties. This is the one. This is the one that shows how Suntec REIT has been able to tap the market over the years. If you look at it, even at the depth of financial crisis, we have been able to tap the market for loans. The most important thing really is that the bank don't take away your umbrella when it rains, right? So the key part of Suntec REIT having been able to demonstrate in terms of track record is that we have always been able to get the support of the market, good times or bad times. Right? I'll give you a bit more details on the office portfolio, given that it accounts for nearly 70% of our business in terms of income. Okay, the takeaway slide again here is really that we have always maintained a very high occupancy for the offices that we own. You see that we don't own many offices because we always want to own the assets that can last through time. Right? It's easy to buy the newest one, but after 10 years becomes old, 20 years becomes older. 30 years what happens, 40 years what happens. So investment in property is always a long-term game. Oh, it's not a game. Investing in property is always a long-term strategy. So you need to invest in property where it can withstand time throughout the economic cycles. This is my favorite one. I always tell these stories, but you heard me, please just bear with me. That the genesis of Suntec City. Suntec City was an idea in 1984 where our late founding father, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, invited a group of Hong Kong conglomerates to invest in Singapore. Now, then the economy was doing very poorly. So Singapore economy was doing very poorly. So a group of conglomerates, including the top billionaires in Hong Kong, came and in 1988 decided to give to Singapore or invest in Singapore a International World Trade Convention Center. And so they bid for the land, they won it. And so the whole idea of Suntec City was designed in the shape of a man's left hand. Right? So if you ever visit Suntec City, you have not visited, please go after this. Make sure it ends exactly at 5. So it is designed in the shape of a man's left hand, where the 5 office tower represents each finger. The shorter one is the thumb, and then tower 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in the center, there is a gold ring. In the palm, there's a gold ring, and there's a fountain of wealth. You have not touched the water, please do that too. And then on the wrist itself, we have a convention center. So that was designed, it was designed, Hong Kong businessmen were designed by Feng Shui. Not very surprising, but yeah. Okay, so today, over the years, or in 1987 when it was first completed, Suntec City did not have an MRT station. Today, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, that we are the only development in Singapore which is connected to 2 MRT stations, both Promenade and Esplanade MRT station. We are served by the Downtown Line and the Circle Line. And so within 4 minutes away, we are connected to all the other MRT lines in Singapore. Okay, these are the 2 properties we'll see. As you step out, you also see what ORQ and BFC. So this is held in 1/3 ownership. These are buildings which we target at a premium grade office tenants. Essentially, for anyone who wants a premium address in Singapore, these ORQ and BFC are at the top of your list in terms of having a business address, and that's the positioning. We have been very successful in that, and the occupancy here is hover around 100% for these 2 properties. This is 177 Pacific Highway, Sydney. That was our first project outside of Singapore. The reason why we went outside of Singapore was really that the board and management firmly believes that Suntec REIT needs to be able to provide stable and sustainable returns, dividend to our unit holders. That's the expectation of the fabric of Suntec REIT. So to be able to do so, we must be able to undertake active portfolio management and be able to mitigate the property cycles. Right? So different countries, different sectors have different property cycles throughout the time. So for Suntec REIT to get out of Singapore to invest in Australia, the whole strategy was to have another source of income to help us manage the income in case Singapore property cycle were to go down, or in case we needed to do something for the Singapore properties. For example, you undertake a massive renovation, you need to close it for a few months or a year, so that will help to mitigate the drop in income. So the strategy has proven successful. 177 Pacific today is 100% occupied. We will about 8 years. And you look at the key tenants, these are all the top Australian companies that are with us in this building. So starting from construction to practical completion. Southgate Complex, Melbourne, we went in November or August, but completed acquisition in November 2016. We have 25% interest. We went in because we think there are significant opportunities for us through active management to ramp up the occupancy and to drive better return. Today, we are beginning to see early parts of the results. So you look at the key tenants we have, again, top quality tenants. Right? We're IBM, HWT, LinkedIn in these two towers. Retail portfolio performance. Okay, essentially for retail, we have 2 shopping malls. Okay, actually we have 3 shopping malls. We have one, of course, Suntec City being the largest. Next thing, we have the Marina Bay Link Mall. And we also have in Australia, Southgate, the retail podium. Suntec City Mall performance, this you can also find in our results announcement. We are today one of the strongest mall in terms of footfall growth. Year to date, we achieved 11% in terms of footfall growth, and we are 99.3% occupied, committed occupancy, and achieving good sales growth for our tenants. Okay, these are the pictures to show our ability to attract first to market. For example, if you want to buy a Xiaomi thing, you don't have to order online, go to the physical store and get it instantly, right? So we have, of course, Tokyo Hands opening its 3rd store, and that's the store that serves the CBD office sectors. Okay, we have the other different concepts. For example, Kuditama, a Japanese concept who wanted to first open in Singapore, decided to open with us. We have both a maternity, largest maternity one-stop shop. We have Bed Bath and Table, a concept from Australia. When they decided to open the first store in Singapore, decided to open with us together with another mall. We have Ribbons. We have a very popular new-to-market concept, Dookie, that attracts a lot of youngsters for the Korean buffet. Okay, these are the events that we have held. We are the only mall, I think, with 3 atriums. I don't know, I've not done enough survey, but I think we are the only one with 3 surveys. Please tell me if I'm wrong, too. Okay, again, the countdown, yeah. You see, I'm trying to milk it for what it's worth. Okay, the key part is, of course, the embarking on digital strategy. We have also launched our loyalty program a couple of years back. Today, we are more than 87,000 members already. So if you download that, it's a free sign-up, and please download. Go to the App Store, look for Suntec City app, and then download. You get discounts, and if you spend at Suntec City, you get to accumulate points too. Even if you don't spend at Suntec City, or even if you don't accumulate points, you can actually get discounts, which is not otherwise available. Some of the initiatives we have launched here, for example, Washbox 24, essentially a very simple concept, right? If you need to do laundry, you always have to wait for the laundry shop to be open. This one, the lockers is there 24 hours. You can go there anytime you want, 3 a.m. in the morning if you cannot sleep, and then put inside the locker, and then you can pick up, once it's ready, they'll buzz you, you can pick up again 4 a.m. in the morning, again, if you cannot sleep. So the whole idea is to be able to make the asset work harder, and that was the key strategy we have. This is all delivery. So we launched this really to target the lunchtime shoppers, office people. Lunchtime you go and shop, buy a lot of things, You don't want to bring back office, right? And then you leave it at the counter, you deliver to your home, then you can go back office as though you just came back from a meeting. I'm just kidding, but yeah. This helps the same-day delivery, tapping on the same-day delivery service, which is provided by this company called Internet Startup Leong. So there are various things to talk about. Everybody asks me about digital strategy, or e-commerce, how can technology kill you, how can technology affect you? But I think what we are missing, and a lot of people are probably missing, is that there are a lot of opportunities today that are provided by technology that's not otherwise available in the past. For example, our Suntec Rewards was really founded on technology. Our Washbox 24 was also founded on technology. And this Lala Move thing, essential technology, right? This is like delivery, Uber concept of delivery. Convention performance. 690 events held in first half 2017. Every year we hold about 1,003 to 1,004 events. And these are international events, could be local trade, could be consumer events. And speaking of which, this weekend has this very interesting Rise and Shine event. You should go and take a look. And then month end, we have the most popular COMEX event. They will draw 200 over 1,000 people to the convention center and to the mall on the particular week, on the weekend. Okay, again, won the number of awards. I shall not go into the details. 9 Penang Road, that's the former Park Mall. If you remember, the former Park Mall now is gone, right? So now 9 Penang Road will be a development, and this is what it will look like at the end of the completion. At the end, okay, we're going to have 2 office towers. And total square feet, about 352,000 square feet, essentially largely office space with ancillary retail on level 1. Okay, we're not going to have a shopping mall there anymore. It's just going to be nearly entirely office. The reason why we decided to sell that to a joint venture, I mean, the history was that we used to own it 100%. Okay, when we bought it, we owned it 100%. We decided to sell it to a joint venture and redeveloped it, and we hold 30% of the joint venture. Why? Very simple, because the reason then was that the lease was running down to 50-odd years. So what do you do with a 50-odd years building? You put in more money, you say, oh, I've got 50-odd years, what do I do? So we decided to sell a joint venture. We top out the lease to 99, and now we got a fresh 99-year lease for this building. So again, it starts again. So it's like getting born again. Okay, this is born again. Okay, these are some of the pictures you would see. Okay. Acquisition of older fleet. I just try to check whether do we have time. No, not really. Okay. I want to make sure that we end at 5 so we don't take up too much of your time. Okay. So acquisition of older fleet, 477 Collins Street. That was the latest acquisition we made in Australia. See, in Australia, the property, grade of property is ranked between different grades. The highest grade is called premium grade. Then you have grade A, grade B, grade C, and what have you. Right? Premium grade is the top grade in Australia. So recently we made acquisition of 50% interest in this largest premium grade office building to be constructed in Melbourne in the last 25 years. So very rare opportunity for us to get in. So it will cost us 414 million Aussie dollars, and it's a freehold site. The good part about Australia is that a lot of the sites are actually freehold. And we'll get 4.8% income yield and target completion mid-2020. The whole idea to take away is really, as a REIT, I don't have any development risk because it's underwritten by the seller who sells me 50% stake, but they continue to be a co-owner with me for the long term. So all these development risks, in terms of leasing risks and what have you, are undertaken by my 50% partner. So this is where the property is. See, Crown Casino. So this is where, Collins Street is where the core part of the CBD is. It's the most prestigious business address in Melbourne. So this is along Collins Street, okay? This is 477 Collins Street. Southern Cross Station, and this is where the Crown Casino is. You can kind of cross the bridge to get over. So some features, quite interestingly, it has a unique building facade, and then, you know, it's constructed many years ago, 200 over years ago, and then behind will be a brand new office building. These are some of the pictures you'll see. Okay, key part why we go into it, same thing, we need to augment our quality of assets, you improve our earnings, and give us again, that assurance of stable income to be able to give a stable distribution to our unit holders. The WALE, which is weighted average lease expiry, will be more than 7 years. Okay, 1/7 focus, I show that every slide to every investor, to each individual investor or to corporate investor, institutional investors. There's this key part about focusing on fundamentals, where we want to drive the asset performance and asset utilization, and that's the key part that we're trying to do and we will do. Gain track record, we're trading yield of 5.35%, market cap 4.9 billion. We're fourth largest REIT by market cap listed on the Singapore Exchange. Okay, this track record shows how we've been distributing in terms of dividend. We got listed in 2004, and 2005 was the first year of a full year of distribution. You see, over time, we have largely maintained very stable distribution, regardless of the property cycle. Okay, if you were IPO unit holders, you would have gotten 205% in terms of our total return. Thank you. For those of you who drive, after 5 p.m., we have $2.80 per entry into Suntec City. I need to do my advertisement, I'm sorry. Have a good weekend. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.